One thing I have noticed after speaking with a lot of apparel founders is that many of them have already formed an opinion about Amazon without ever properly evaluating it. And the interesting part is that these are usually not inexperienced businesses. These are apparel brands with real traction, maybe strong retail stores, a loyal customer base, and years of experience selling products offline. But when the topic of Amazon comes up, the conversation often sounds very similar. Someone will say something like, our customers buys in-house. Our brand is probably too premium for Amazon. Our margins would get crushed there. Or something simply, we will look at Amazon later. Now, to be fair, none of those concerns are unreasonable. But in many cases, those statements are not actually conclusions. They are just early assumptions that were never properly evaluated. And that is exactly why I wanted to create this series. Because after working with apparel businesses for some time, one pattern keeps showing up again and again. Many apparel founders underestimate how much demand may already exist for products like they're on Amazon. Not because they checked and rejected, but because they never really broke the channel down properly in the first place. And the danger here is subtle because the real risk is not Amazon itself. The real risk is entering Amazon blindly. But the other risk, the one people rarely talk about, is dismissing it blindly as well. And both of those mistakes usually start in the same place. They start when we try to judge Amazon using retail logic. If you run an apparel business, retail logic makes perfect sense. Offline, you know what strength looks like. You know which products sell because customers trust the brand. You know which items work because people can try them on, feel the fabric, compare options, or ask questions in the store. A lot of the value of apparel retail comes from experience and context, and I get it. But Amazon operates very differently. Customers are not standing in the store, they are just searching, they are comparing, they are filtering quickly between options. And because the environment is different, the way demand behaves can be also very different. This is where many founders unintentionally misread the opportunity. They look at the platform from the outside and think their products probably would not work there, or that their customers only buy because of the in-store experience, or that simply Amazon feels too crowded to them. And sometimes those concerns are completely valid, but very often they are simply untested assumptions, and serious businesses should be careful about turning assumptions into strategic decisions too early. Because here is something interesting that happens when you start looking at apparel categories more closely on Amazon. And to be honest, over the last 5 years, I have looked into hundreds of apparel sub-niches. That is why I am creating this series. In many cases, there is already significant demand, not theoretical demand, real search activity, real customers, real revenue flowing through products that many apparel founders would casually assume are too basic, too competitive, or too crowded, or to be worth exploring. And this is exactly where things often get interesting because most apparel founders have never actually sat down and looked at the data properly. So in this video, I want to do two things. First, I want to walk you through what real category demand in apparel actually looks like on Amazon, because when founders sees the numbers for the first time, it often surprises them. Secondly, I want to show you what real seller success looks like in this space. Not theory, not assumptions, but actual seller central data, so you can see what conditions look like for the business that are already operating in the categories similar to yours. Let's take a look, and let me jump to my computer screen. Okay, so now on Amazon, in the US marketplace, I have searched first niche, that would be men's jeans, because sometimes you will just imagine that this is the most basic apparel thing that sells. So let's take a look. For example, if you take a look at this page on Amazon, you will notice that different brands are already featured on the top spots. For example, this Rustler, then all-time famous Levi's, and then you can go down with other products like let me see what Amazon Essentials, Urban Star, Maxi, and again Rustler, Amazon Essentials. So Wrangler is also here. So now you also see a trend, a very different trends. People are also selling it for as cheap as $13, and people are also selling it for $128 and making a good business out of it. So at this moment, the core focus of this video is going to be just the category demand, not exactly going into like how to qualify a category and what sort of pricing you should go. We will cover this in next video. But firstly, just to show you that what kind of business they are doing out of this only one product. For example, not whole, for example, Rustler not as a whole brand, but just one product, this one. So let's quickly use a tool I love, Data Dive. So let's go with that. So let it load. It may take a couple of minutes. Okay, now it is loaded. Now you can already see that almost 70,000 people are searching for this keyword, just this men jeans, in the month of March 2026 while I'm recording this video. 70,000 people for just this keyword. Now there should be other keywords, obviously jeans for men jeans, small size, something like these keywords, and you can already imagine that millions of people looking at these products every week. So total revenue, as you can see, huge revenue potential. Then total sales, you can see almost 528,000 units are being sold every month. And then you can also see the median price. On average, people are selling the jeans for $30. So you can also take some idea like what are the pricing. Then you can also see what is the fulfillment fees, again on all the fees, and what it costs to sell on Amazon. We will cover in next video. You can also see some other KPIs, but here I just want to show you that, for example, this Rustler one, they are selling it quite cheap, $15, and they are doing 72,000 units per month. They are selling 72,000 units per month just for one product. Now imagine a multiplier that they have 10 of these products on selling on Amazon. This is just the scale I want to show you, that how big it usually is to sell apparel on Amazon. Yes, it takes a very long journey that we will cover in the upcoming videos, but it is a real business happening in front of us. Now if we go down, for example, let me zoom in a bit. So if you look at this, okay, Levi's, let's go to Wrangler. Now look at the Wrangler, this relaxed fit jeans. They are selling it for $40. $40, quite good high price for a jeans. I would not buy something like $40 for a jeans, but they're also doing almost 8,500 plus sales units sold for one product. Now just to club it, for example, I see just two products of Wranglers right here. One selling almost 9,000, another one selling 7,000. So you already see the scale that people are making already six figures in this. Yes, this is a very I mean loose product, like there is a lot of competition. But if you go a bit niche, for example, in apparel, maybe you are selling safety jackets, let's say safety jackets for men. Maybe this is your business. Now if we look at it closely, obviously this should be some high priced items. So yeah, you see already $50, $47, $107. But let's take a look at what the scale looks like for this product. I mean, okay, now you see, yeah, because this is a very niche product. So at this moment 8,500 people are looking for this keyword. But as you go forward, there will be a lot more search demand for this product. And again, this is just one keyword, safety jackets. But if I search for men, if I search safety jackets, just the demand would be much higher. But the idea is to show you that still there are 56,000 units of these products being sold on Amazon every day. This was a very random example I hopped into. And once you are very niche, that means the reviews and the competition is also very low. That means if your aim is to make, let's suppose, a business about 50-60 thousand dollars for this on Amazon, you may consider switching to this product. But if your aim is to do six figures and above, you may go into a bit competitive niche, but that is a whole different strategy. Now if you look at this JK safety, they are selling it very cheap, they are selling it very high. But for example, something like this brand, they are selling it for almost $38, they are selling almost 2,800 units. But yeah, this is again a good scale. Now, so just to show you, I will go into the business reports for this brands. They are selling workwears and stuff. So yeah, so let's see. For example, I will just take in the last, what we have done in the last 12 months. So from 11th March, let's take a look at this. Now you see that in for this just one product in this brand, we have not launched any other product because it is very difficult to manage cash flow as well. But you already see we are selling it at $36 and we have done 1.25 million in the sales. And then you can already imagine that this is with no extra effort. We buy from Bangladesh or Pakistan or China, whatever country you are sourcing from, we ship directly to Amazon, and that is it. This is an automated business we are doing for this brand as well. Now you can also see that different kind of KPIs, but yeah, so I think these two things does make no sense that you have already seen the numbers. So now you have seen the numbers, and this is usually the moment where something shifts, because most founders have spent months, sometimes years, assuming Amazon is not relevant to them. And then they see this and the question changes. It stops being, is there demand? And it becomes, why are not we there? But I want to slow you down for a second, because that reaction, as natural as it is actually where most apparel brands make their first mistake. Seeing demand is not the same as confirming fit. And if you jump from the demand is real to let's get our catalog listed, you're going to run into exactly the kind of problems that make founders say, we tried Amazon, it didn't work. Because the demand question and the fit questions are completely different conversations. And in the next video, that is exactly what we get into. How a serious apparel founder should actually start evaluating whether his channel makes sense for their specific business and their specific products. Because the risk is not Amazon. The risk is entering blind. See you in the next one.